Bayern Munich are European champions. It was the battle of the treble winners yesterday, or prospective treble winners rather, and Bayern Munich came out on top 1-0. Not a scoreline many predicted, but an outcome that a lot of people did. And in today's episode, we are joined by Aniket, who's been supporting Bayern Munich for 10, 11 years now. And we're going to look at the final from last night, break it down, and look at what next for these teams as well in this episode. Right, and again, I'm going to jump straight into this, man. How does it feel? How was that game last night? Just what are your first thoughts? Just what's your fresh thoughts out on this?
You know what? I genuinely don't think the full thing has not sunk in it. I feel like I need to watch it again. I might have missed little details here and there. And as a Bayern fan, you might say it's a bit of privilege or anything like that. But when I first started supporting, I've seen us lose the 2012 final. That was soon made up for in 2013. But these 7 years, it's been this frustration where you've got so close. You're a refereeing call away. You're an away goal away from just going through. That 7 years, yesterday I just lost my composure. I was in tears. I was really happy. This is one of the best. This is statistically at least the best Champions League winners you'll ever see. 11 games, 11 wins. Yeah. It's been perfect from us. Hansi Flick's done an awesome job. I love this.
Yeah, I think that sums it up, man. Statistically, the perfect team. No other team has won every single game in that Champions League season going up. So a proper comprehensive victory. No one can say that they didn't deserve it. No questions asked at all. But the game did end 1-0. Was there any time in the game though where you were genuinely scared that this is going to slip away from you? Like at 89th minute, I remember messaging on the United group. Guys, anyone think a 99 repeat of 2 corners coming in? Did you have any such scare?
I'll be blunt here. I feel they might have just nicked it. They might have been the better team in my opinion overall. But I feel in this for the first half at least, I feel like it was your typical final where it was cagey at the start and players were not really, there wasn't that composure which I'd expect from my team. Other than Thiago and Kimmich, for example, a lot of people misplaced passes, a bit of clumsiness on the ball from both sides, in fact. PSG kept losing it up front because of our high line. But I feel once we got the goal, what we did, and something I've not seen from this side, at least for this season, is that we broke the play up continuously. Like every game has its flow and stuff like that. This is what I think I would call an Ander Herrera type of game. Because it was continuously being broken up, and in the end, it wasn't helping PSG. Neymar wanted to get on the ball. In the end, there was simple 5-yard passes which he wasn't able to make and stuff like that. I think that was down to us, and I was really thorough. It was a very professional performance. I love that.
Yeah, I think professional performance is what Abby you said last night as well at some point. I think just a very professional performance by them. What were your initial thoughts? As soon as the game was done, what was your reading of it as such?
This was a game of two very different halves, right? It was PSG's half through and through in the first half, and Bayern showed that they belong to this Champions League final stage. They showed their experience. They just saw the game out completely. And if you saw the way they transformed themselves in that second half, because to be very honest, guys, the game could have been dead and buried in the first half. If Di Maria had converted, if Mbappe, and I'm talking about not one-off conversions like the way maybe Choupo-Moting missed that flick in the second half towards the end. These were open goal chances that you'd bet 9 out of 10 times for Mbappe to finishing that, right? You would have bet 9 out of 10 times for Di Maria to finish that. It's a footballing lesson, right? For so many people watching that against the best sides in football, when the stakes are so high, you cannot afford to let go of such chances. And I think Bayern did two things. One, I think they recovered very well in the second half. I don't think PSG had anywhere. They were nowhere in that second half. I think it was all Bayern in that second half. And to come back to what Aniket said and to answer your question on, 89th minute, did you think it could have happened? Everyone did, because you were talking about 99-2-1. I'm talking about the semi-final. 88th minute, they were down 1-0 and they came back with 2 goals, right? Quarter, sorry, not semi-finals. Yeah, but I think congratulations to Bayern Munich. They've shown us why they're 6-time European champions, right? And why PSG have never won it before. Temperament. It's not just about football skill. It's about temperament as well.
Yeah. Andy, yesterday, we did the pre-match live, of course, on Football Pundits. And like every other prediction that we very boldly made on this show, one other was made that there's no way this game is going nil-nil into halftime. There's no way any of us saw a 1-0, right? But this wasn't one of those drab 1-0s. We've seen 2-2s or 2-1s or 3-2s that have been drab, but this was a exciting 1-0. So, Annie, how do you feel now that our predictions have gone and your hindsight now coming into
So
this?
you said rightly in the start of the episode, not many predicted 1-0. I'm telling you, no one made a 1-0 prediction. Only because respect to PSG, everyone expected PSG to at least get a goal in and Bayern to respond, right? That's what even we said. We had a Bayern Munich fan on in the preview, Dan. He said the same thing, right? At least the 2-1's happening. Credit to PSG, they were the better team overall in the game. But this is the problem, right? Neymar not finishing, Mbappe not finishing. And people keep saying, why are we talking about Neymar 220 million? Why are we not talking about that now? I think now's the time. They made it to the final, didn't deliver. Yes, he was the reason they made it there. But come on, you got past Atlanta, who were, for me, still the favorites to beat them. In the case of two legs, they might have. Can't say in hindsight, it's a wrong point to make, I guess, on my part. But Leipzig, again, those teams you expect a PSG to get past those teams, right? Best chance to win. Neymar had the world at his feet in this final, didn't deliver. Unfair to maybe just blame him. Mbappe fit, didn't deliver. The game for me was lost, like I told you guys. If Verratti doesn't start, even half fit, they'll lose that midfield battle. And that the game was just edged out there, right? Aniket said Thiago and Kimmich. For me, Kimmich was slightly the better player. Kimmich was actually still underrated in this final. For me, he was the man of the match, if you had to ask me. Herrera, like you said, for PSG, and we discussed this again, Kern, we've spoken about this as well in the previous episode. Herrera kind of game. Just attach yourself to the midfield, attach yourself to Muller, break up that play, annoy. And that, well done in the first half. Second half, Bayern just came out. Like they say, right? In the end, the Germans win it all the time. And that's just what happened. Bayern showed, like Abhishek said, they are experienced. They really wanted this game. I guess the final, the cup, more than PSG did. And PSG just, just couldn't do it. They couldn't take the pressure. That miss by Choupo-Moting, what was he doing, man? Like, just, if you tap that in straight, that's goal. Yes, Neuer was great. No doubt, match winner, one of the best keepers in the world. But you got to put that in. And Icardi not coming on, even if he's injured, put Icardi on for 3 minutes. He can get you a goal. What are you doing?
And he's clearly been holding things in since the match ended last night. But I think the main one to come down to this, yes, I think as Abby mentioned, right, we can look at the misses of Choupo-Moting and all of those, but in the end, the hopes and dreams were pinned on the Neymars and the Mbappes. Everyone said that if PSG are going to win this, Neymar has to step up and perform, right? And Aniket, I want to ask you this, rather than just keep the Bayern questions to you. What do you think lies next for PSG? This season, is it good enough that, hey, they've taken a huge step up and they've reached the finals? Or now, because of the likes of Neymar and Mbappe being in the squad, people will now come in and like, they need to do more. They need a whole overall again. This is not good enough. The manager needs to change. What is your take on this?
Aniket, sorry, before you say that, I want to just mention this. PSG's last overall to win the Champions League led to them losing the Champions League to Coman's goal last night.
Yeah. Coman, obviously a PSG graduate, left on free, and they built all this $1 billion squad, and they lost to a goal from him. That's just how football works sometimes.
So regarding PSG, I sometimes you just need to lose a final, get that. I know it's a stupid thing to say. You might obviously want to win it, and PSG fans at the moment will not care about losing a final. But sometimes that you will have to lose a final, get that experience to get over the line. Marseille lost the final in 1991, won it in 1993. Chelsea lost one in 2008 to you guys, and won one in 2012 against us. That experience does help, and I'm sure this will help. If you guys have seen that Ander Herrera interview from yesterday, I loved it. Just brutally honest. And how he goes about it. Just because you lose a Champions League final, I feel like a lot of pundits and people are being very harsh on them because I know it's Atalanta, it's Leipzig, it's not teams with pedigree, but these are still good teams and they still deserve to go through against both of them. And in the grand scheme of things, they have reached a Champions League final and lost to probably the best team in the world right now. Yeah. So I think we should slow down a bit on we need an overhaul here, and I feel like this, and again, there's a few. The game against Dortmund, for example, that was a kind of a tipping point there because there was a bond which was created. This is a very common thing that's mentioned in France. I remember that there was a bomb that was created in that game against Dortmund once when they were trolling Haaland and stuff like that. There was that bond. There's this belief. There's this team spirit. The thing that they're actually playing as a team that was created in that game. And like Herrera said yesterday as well, this is a team which we have built. We want to continue on this.
Yeah, I think, very, very pertinent points there. Yesterday, PSG became the 7th consecutive team, I think, to reach the finals for the first time, but not win. I think the last one was Dortmund back in the 96-97 one. So, it's not an easy feat. Abby, do you agree largely there that the PSG should stick with this and the result will come in the Champions League? Of course,
definitely. And I'm still telling you, they lost that game in the last 45 minutes of their Champions League campaign. And this is a team that could have done the treble. So it's not like they're faltering in their domestic league. They are dominating their domestic league. And they've played very well through this campaign. In fact, the first thing that went through my head when I saw PSG lose and the way that Neymar was so animated with Alaba after the game, I was like, PSG need to do everything possible to keep the squad. They cannot, they should not let go of these players. This does not mean that give Mbappe to Real Madrid, let Neymar figure his future. They need to absolutely keep the squad intact, keep the manager intact. In a cup final, it's very difficult, to blame a losing side in a Champions League final and tell them to go for a complete overhaul. How many teams have we seen in the past actually overhaul their entire squads after a Champions League final defeat? Not so many. Barcelona need to do it because Barcelona got out in the quarters and they are a shit aging side, right? There's so many other clubs that need to do it. Whereas if you look at PSG, I think they're again maybe the top 3 or top 2 favorites to win it next year. That's how good they've been this season. And my closing comment on all of this is I just want a special shout out to Manuel Neuer. It's not like he needs it because everyone's talking about him. But me personally, I've always rated him very highly. But I've always regarded him as maybe the second best goalkeeper in the world. I've always found a reason to maybe find back when De Gea was at his prime. I always thought De Gea was the better keeper. When Madrid went and won 3 Champions Leagues, I thought Keylor Navas was the better keeper. I must tell you that while Annie said Joshua Kimmich deserves man of the match, for me, there is only one person who deserves man of the match. For me, it's Manuel Neuer because he kept Bayern to fight for that Champions League in that second half. Honestly, I thought the game could have been dead and buried in the first half by PSG had Manuel Neuer not been there. So special shout out to him, man. Yeah. And I'm so happy for my friends in Bavaria.
Yeah, I think I'll just
absolutely dominating performance. Yeah, Annie, I'm just gonna
I'll just build on that and then you can close. Like I said again in the start, PSG were the better team. Didn't expect them to be this good against Bayern and Bayern to be that clueless in the first half, which is why we ended up seeing that 0-0. I think in Bayern Munich were a little shocked by the way PSG set out. And like Abhishek said, overall not needed by PSG have been the favorites in the last 3 years as well in the Champions League. They always have been. That they've not gotten past the second leg and they've had a bogey. That is a different argument. We've already discussed that to death, so let's not go into it. I do think PSG next year again will be top 3, right? Just look at that squad. I don't think they even need that many additions to the squad. Icardi's already here. It's become a permanent deal. They've already planned for Cavani's departure. He was an older striker. They replaced with a slightly younger striker. So they've got their, I think, the pieces in place, right? They don't need to go and do it all over again next season. It's the way Bayern have not been winning the Champions League and just easily bullying the domestic league. PSG have to just step it up next year and make sure that they make CL a priority.
Yeah, I think that's our segment on the Champions League from last night. Congratulations once again, Aniket, and all the Bayern Munich fans out there. I can't wait,
And Daniel Heidingsfelder.
And Dan, obviously, our funded on the previous one. We're overjoyed for you guys. Bayern Munich, well-deserved champions of Europe, champions of Germany, treble winners. And let's see what the coming season holds for PSG, whose season starts as soon as Saturday. How brutal is that? But anyway, thanks again, guys, for tuning in to yet another episode of Football Pundits. Do let us know what you guys like to hear about, like to talk about, and we'll come out with you with lots more content. Till then, hit subscribe, hit follow, and we'll see you in the next one.